The next recipe is going to be a non-dairy millet-based kheer. So we are going to use little millet for making the kheer. In my experience, I find that little millet and barnyard millet both are ideal for making kheer. They are the smallest of the lot, and they cook really well in kheer, and most millet-based kheers, they come out tasting almost rabdi-like. So they are really delicious. Let's get started. To cook the millet kheer, what we have to do is first cook the little millet. So we're not, because we're using coconut milk in our recipe, we are not going to boil it along with the millet. We've kept half a cup of little millet. So for little millet, the water quantity required to boil is 2.5 times. So we're going to use 2.5 times water to boil and cook the little millet. And we'll wait for the water to come to a boil. Once the water comes to a boil, we are going to add the little millet to this. You can pre-soak the little millet for a few hours. Although in this recipe, it gets cooked really well and really thorough. So, because it gets cooked really nice and mushy in the kheer. And so, in terms of digestion, over soaking it is not really required. But if you find that soaking gives you better digestion, then you can pre-soak the millets for 2 hours or more. So now our water has come to a boil. In the boiling water, I'm going to add the half a cup of washed and drained little millet. In my personal experience, this one gives the best kheer. Also, if you're doing like a khichdi recipe, little millet and barnyard millet go very well in a khichdi as well. In fact, little millet kheers have traditionally been recommended as as almost like a medicine for reproductive health issues. And little millet is excellent for digestion. It's good for reproductive disorders. It's good for gas disorders. So it's very good for the stomach. It's called kutki in Hindi. So now I'm going to just reduce the heat, wait for the entire rice to cook. And then once the rice cooks, then we are going to start the process of the kheer. Now we're going to quickly check on the rice. Remember I told you earlier, so we have to check if the water is absorbed. Yes, it is. That means our rice is completely cooked. I'm going to switch this off. And in this one, so if you wanted to use this rice further, like in the other recipes, you would cool it down. But since we are going to use it for kheer, I can just leave it here and add it to the milk directly. So I'm going to put this rice on the side and leave it. Now let me just switch on the gas. So our other ingredients for the kheer are coconut milk, raw sugar or khand, pista, badam, elaichi powder, some kishmish, and a little bit of kesar, which you are going to add in the end. So to this pan, so to this I'm going to add our coconut milk. This is about 2 cups of coconut milk. Just going to add a little bit of water, and we'll wait for this to come to a boil. In this recipe, you can add any other nut milk as well. So it's completely dependent on your personal taste buds. So we are going to wait for this to come to a quick boil, and then I'm going to add the cooked millet. So our milk is coming to a boil. I'm going to add some jaggery to this. So this is raw sugar or khand that we've added. Mixed well. I'll also add some cardamom powder. Just a pinch. Perfect. Now the cooked millet is going to be added to this whole mix. So I cooked half a cup of millet. I'm going to add almost all of that to this because I like a nice thick creamy kheer. And that's what this is going to turn into. So we mix the whole thing and just make sure there are no lumps in this. So break down any lumps that may have formed while the millet was cooling down. Since we didn't spread it out right this time, so there was some lumps in it. So we've just broken down the lumps. The thing with millets is that, every time you eat it, you know that, you're eating it. It's not just good for you. You're eating something that's beneficial for the farmer, for the planet. So it's a very good way, a very easy way of making a difference to the planet through your kitchen and through your tummy. So, guilt-free food in more ways than one. So we're just going to cook the little millet nicely. It's going to become nice and mushy. So the millet rice is already cooked, right? But in this, it's just going to become nice and mushy, and we're going to add the rest of the accompaniments to this as well. So I'll add the nuts. So these are some almonds. We'll add it. Pista. Kishmish I'm going to add later. You see it becoming nice and thick and creamy. So you can also choose to add jaggery powder to this. To do that, my recommendation always would be to add jaggery in the end. Once the entire thing is cooked, you take jaggery powder and add it in the end to all kinds of milk. This is thick and almost done. For sweetener, you can add jaggery powder, you can add a date syrup, you can add palm jaggery, you can add any kind of sweetener that you like. And you can add it towards the end as well. So this is thickening now. Almost done. I'm going to add the raisins as well and a little bit of kesar. That will give it a lovely color. So when you're making a jaggery kheer, the kesar will not really be very helpful because it will not be visible, because jaggery sort of takes over the entire color of the kheer. But if you're using khand or raw sugar, then this is an excellent addition to make.